Hi, I will be presenting you PB&B's team business analysis and recommended strategy for the case study Driving Growth Toward Becoming a Global Singapore Enterprise. We will start with an overview of the companies followed by a PBB's proposed strategy. To start with, we identified that SG's current strategy relies in four main areas: product, client, value chain, and or geographical coverage. In the case of the product, SG is horizontally integrated and counts with four main products, from which 81% of the sales are based on floor and wall covering. At this moment, we would like to emphasize that we would like to maintain the same product sales proportion in India. Followed by clients, SG has two different segments: commercial and residential. In this case, even though the mix varies from country to country, it can be concluded that in average the main revenue stream comes from commercial customers. In terms of the value chain, we understand the process works as follows. First, it starts with the design, in which most cases is provided and owned by manufacturers. Nonetheless, in countries like China, some designs are made in-house. Next in the chain is the manufacturing, that is completely outsourced. Following is the distribution and retail. In this case, SG works with two channels: showrooms and designers. Last but not least comes the installation. This part varies from country to country. Nonetheless, in most cases, it is subcontracted by a third party. Finally comes the geographical coverage. As we can observe, at the moment most of the sales come from China and only 1% accounts for India. So what's happening in India? We understand there are some operational difficulties that may be related to cultural differences, which has resulted on strained relationships with headquarters. Apart, SG's market share accounts for only 0.4% of the total market. Based on this information, the team defined the problem as what is the best strategy for SG to be successful in India. So what's the market like? Based on the information retrieved from the Ministry of Textile, we determined that the total size of wall and floor is valued at $205 million with a projected growth of 8%. Being the key drivers for these projections the current growth experienced by the country, resulting in a real estate boom. Therefore, we can see India is an extremely attractive market for SG to expand its presence. Based on this, we determined that the strategy is to focus on a niche segment differentiated with personalized service and expand the local presence. In order to achieve this, we have decided to divide this section in three parts. But first, we would like to start with the target market. In this case, we'll let the numbers speak by themselves. First of all, we see the hotel business that will be growing by 2018 with 292 new hotels. In this particular case, we would like to emphasize that pre and post sales will be handled by India's office. Nonetheless, based on the incentive these companies receive by the government, most likely all the transactions will be made by Singapore or Hong Kong, but this should be accounted as sales for India. In the case of public transportation, the government is expecting to invest over $40 billion in the next decade. Healthcare is not behind, which value is expected to be doubled by 2017. In terms of corporate office, 445 million square feet are planned to be used as corporate office by 2017. The education sector is also growing, with 1,000 new corporate schools and investment in higher education in which 10 million square feet will be constructed or used as educational industry by 2017. Additionally, there's the construction of smart cities around India. So now that this has been established, we would like to proceed with our strategy. As previously mentioned, HG requires to expand its presence in the country. By this, we mean establishing showrooms around India based on the future development of the cities. We recommend Pune, Chennai, New Delhi, and Bhubaneswar. Even though this is an aggressive strategy, we want to reduce risk by renting instead of owning these facilities, resulting on an annual cost of $88,000 for rent, $123,000 for decoration, and $600,000 in terms of operational costs. So yes, we are recommending a local expansion, but first we need to address the operational issues faced at the office. For this, we studied Indian culture and determined that two key factors. First of all, that Indians like to be given instructions and that they need detailed orientation about how to do their work. Based on this, we designed a program called Zero Error Incentive, which aims to reduce the amount of mistake made by employees and reward them and recognize for decreasing the amount of errors made. As you can see, it is like many other incentive programs in terms of planning. There should be an assessment part in which goals will be set and employees' performance will be measured. Afterwards, guideline and training will be provided to employees, so everything will be clearly explained and outlined. Then the program should be launched. And after this, every 6 months, there should be a result tracking in which employees who have improved their performance according to their goals will be rewarded and recognized. Once this is established, we would like to proceed with the second part of the strategy, and this is partnership with designers and universities. India is a collective country in which relationships are extremely important. Therefore, we established two groups to work with, designers and universities. In this case, the designers would recommend to organize social events in order to build networks and establish relationships. Together with this, we would also like to develop a sales incentive plan in which designers and architects will be rewarded for selling our product. In the case of universities, we would like to hold design competitions in which students develop new designs that represent the local market. In this case, as part of the rewards, the company can provide internship opportunities in order to acquire new talent and develop it. And last but not least comes the third part of the strategy, which is focused on technology. First, let's start with the Google ad. In this case, we would like to recommend a complete AdWord campaign in order to establish SG's enterprise on the internet and be easily found by any potential customer. Next comes the app for smartphones. In this case, we would like an app that will be targeted for designers and architects that will be likened to refurnish any room and they will be able to show it to their customers right away. As part of the features, we would like material calculator, last collection, and top sellers to be part of the app. And with this final part, we've concluded this strategy proposed by PB&B. Of course, let's just take a little look at the expected results of this 280,000 investment project. First of all, as part of customer results, we expect our company to be recognized as best in terms of consumer service and satisfaction. In terms of financial and market results, we expect a share market increase from 0.4% to 5% and sales growth of 12 million by 2019. In terms of people results, we expect high levels of performance with minimum numbers of mistakes. And in terms of operations, even though we have the showrooms, we would like to keep the levels of inventory as minimum as required and just maintain a just-in-time inventory. Additionally, apart from the partnership, we would also like to create a space for new designers to be recognized. This would be our presentation, and thank you very much.